Hello and welcome. I'm Kyle Mills, and it's been good to have a couple of days off to recover from what was a scintillating first test match between New Zealand and Pakistan, and New Zealand coming out on top, but Pakistan showing a lot of fight in that last day to push for victory, but falling up short. Right, we move on to the second test. This is going to be really important test on a number of fronts because for New Zealand, they have the World Test Championship final at play. They are still in line. There's lots of things that can happen, but to give themselves a chance, they need to win this second test match against Pakistan. Well, Pakistan, they don't have an opportunity to make that final, but they've still got a lot to play for from what was, I like to think the last day of that test match was a bit of a confidence booster. And just like any tour, you want to finish on a high. And so Pakistan have been here for over a month now. They've got that opportunity to finish the tour on a high. So let's look at Hagley Oval, where this test has been played down in Christchurch. There's been 7 test matches there, 6 results. So there should be a result in this match. Apparently the weather is going to be really good for the first 4 days down in Christchurch. So that should bode well for both sides. But I think with this opportunity here that New Zealand have they really need to win this test match because the test match is important, but to win the series and the World Test Championship, I sense that they may play aggressive cricket. So Pakistan need to use that to their advantage. They're not chasing this final. New Zealand's are. So New Zealand, I sense, are going to be quite aggressive in this test match because there's no Neil Wagner this time round. Matt Henry's coming into the group, and I suspect that they'll pick him ahead of Daryl Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell's a batting all-rounder. He does bowl some seamers. Matt Henry's first-class record is outstanding. His test match record, not so. But I think he's a local boy from Christchurch, so I think adding him in because the New Zealand bowlers bowled a lot of overs. The Bolts, the Southees, the Cole Jamisons bowled a lot of overs in that first test. So I think if they bring Matt Henry in, he will help support with the aggressive mindset because they need 20 wickets. So Pakistan, they need to counteract that, and I think they can use that to their advantage. Unfortunately for Pakistan, Babar Azam, so disappointing not to see him play on these shores here in New Zealand because he's a world-class player. There's no doubting that, on the rise. And the best players in the world, they score runs outside of their home country. And it just would have been great for the New Zealand public to see Babar Azam play because he's a classy individual and he's been sorely missed for Pakistan. So I suspect that Pakistan will play the same 11. I really do. Because they did okay. They just need more out of their openers. Their openers need to provide more at the top of the order, the opening batsmen. And the bowling group, outstanding bowlers. Shaheen Afridi is going to be a future star. He's still a long way to go to get there. Same with Naseem Shah. He's young, he's fast, but he's young. So he needs more cricket under his belt. And I would hope they've learnt a lot on how to bowl in these conditions here in New Zealand. You need to bowl fuller. Trent Boult, Tim Southee, they are successful because they bowl the ball nice and full. They allow it to swing. Now, I'm going to do a YouTube clip later on about swing bowling. Those two guys in particular on why they are so successful. We'll do that later on. But you notice they bowl a lot fuller. So Pakistan need to replicate that. Get the New Zealand batters playing down the ground. No short stuff because they feed off the short stuff. And this New Zealand group, you look at that last test, go look at the scorecard. Every single member of that team contributed to that test win. Every single person of that playing 11 made a contribution. That is how this New Zealand team plays. They play as a team. Now, Pakistan need to replicate that with the batting group and the bowling group. So I've already established they need more runs out of the top 2. Rizwan, the skipper, he just got to continue leading from the front. Fawad Alam, he's now in form. He showed a lot of toughness. He needs to continue that form. So Rizwan, Fawad Alam, they played a lot of balls at the crease. They should be used to the conditions now. They need to make the most of that with the openers getting off to a better start. And we need to see more out of Azhar Ali. 17 test hundreds. He's got an average of tick over 42 in test cricket. They need more from him. they get more from that top 6, a better base, they'll have a better outcome at the end of this test. And just like the last test, you don't win down in Hagley in the first 3 days. You got to have the mindset you're going to win that test match on the 5th day. Take it as deep as you possibly can and use the advantage that New Zealand have to win this test. So they're going to be a little bit more aggressive. And if they do take it deep, what's one bowler in their group that can come to the fore? Yasser Shah. He needs to be bowling at the back end of the test, being aggressive with runs on the board. That's when we see the best of Yasser Shah. That's for sure. The New Zealand team, what do they have to do to win this test match? Well, this, as I mentioned before, plays a team. That's why this team is successful. That's why they've played 16 home tests without a loss. They play as a group and they play as a team. So they will need to have that same mindset as a bowling group, with Matt Henry introduced, I suspect, to bowl as a group and be patient. Don't be too aggressive, because they need this win to win the Test series and to stay alive in the World Test Championship. But they don't want to be too aggressive. Stick to what they do well. Swing the ball, build pressure. And Kyle Jamieson, he's only been around the scene for a short period of time, but he brings another element to that bowling group. And as the batting group, keep banging out runs. Geez, Kane Williamson's had a great summer at home. Tom Latham, he hasn't got 100 at home yet this year. He normally bangs one out. He's a very good player. So this New Zealand team have to play as a group and not get too aggressive. Pakistan need to use that aggression in their favour and use that, and they take this game deep, and they may have a good outcome at the end of the day. But if there's going to be anything like that last day 5 in the last test, it's going to be great cricket to watch. Traditional cricket. I know I've got the T20s fun, and the one day is a lot of fun, but so is test cricket, because you've got to earn the right to win it in the 5th day, and it was just great cricket. So I've only been doing this a couple of weeks now, so I want to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends to get involved as well, because it's your show. This is going to be your show, and I love the comments. And if we can have more people engaged, viewing and subscribing, we can do more together. And that's what it's all about this great game that we all love. We all have an opinion. We all have our thoughts on how the game should be played. So let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts. I really enjoy reading them. But tell as many people as you can, and we'll make it bigger and better as we grow along. Until next time.